with Leon's dancing and demo and test casting.
I like that.
That's,
Norenga inspiration there.
That's not secret. That's not.
That's still a smiling secret, though.
He needs to make his own. You cannot steal from other teams.
Devise your own dance, Leon. The people
do it.
demand it. And when I say people, I really mean demo.
Well,
you want to do it?
Well, you always like to see a new dance.
I guess so.
I think we've kind of overused that one a little bit.
It became very popular.
It was spammed a lot.
Well, we're on to Bank, and not unlike
what is this?
Not unlike the last series earlier on between M&M and Vexed, we're going to see the double hard breach ban coming away.
It's just going to make that basement completely detached away from the rest of all the bomb sites. You cannot attack that basement without a Habana or a Thermite. You just can't do it. Not fun.
I mean, they managed to make it work a couple of times.
It worked once from Vex, and that's because M&M didn't know that the hatch wasn't actually even touched. They thought there was a Maverick who was sitting with a little hole. Literally all they needed to do is swing around, throw a C4, play behind the bomb, job done, which is what they then did the following rounds. I'm more than likely going to be expecting the exact same thing, but I am curious to see how both teams will play the Maverick, because we've seen Vexed and M&M. Instead of opening up the hatch, they decided to opt to open up a way into the bomb site. They opened up that little hole that a very default plant spot would be. So I'm curious to see how then Leon will choose to use that blowtorch. Will he open up the hatch? That means it gives complete cover. Nobody can play behind the bomb, which we know is a big nuisance. And well done the Secret realizing that the only way we're really going to get in... Oh, never mind. I was going to say the only way you get in is with a big pushing power like a glass. And well, that's going to be not there.
As soon as they identify the castle, they're not playing downstairs, they're going upstairs instead. And I thought we might see a Blackbeard get 6 bits in there, but no. Instead dropping the glass entirely. I think when you're trying to play on Windows, that would have been a much more successful play or attempt.
Well,
but instead just walked away from it.
It's because Echo and Valk are both available inside of this matchup, and that's kind of the rule. If both of them are there, you always have to bring an IQ. That's why we've seen both teams in the last map, Echo and Valk were allowed through. That's why then you always pick up the IQ.
It's a real hard one, because everything you can see there, you just 100% need as well. Like, what do you drop? Realistically, towards maybe the Jackal as a drop if you really wanted to get something like the Blackbeard or the Glass.
Jackal Bank,
but
pretty good.
I was going to say, with how roam heavy this map is, we spoke about it on the desk earlier on, 3 sets of stairs, so many roam potentials coming through that you just have to have something on there to be able to hunt those down. So Secret, not so much having their hands tied, but as you said, once you've identified that there is that Valkyrie on side, you need to be getting rid of those cameras, you need the IQ. So for now, we'll have to make do without either the Glass or the Blackbeard.
Secret have spawned towards that north side, so we could be looking at just a standard window take. I think Secret have realized very early on, you can no longer take control of Skylight. There's no point. Maverick isn't going to do much. He can only make one little hole. It's not the same as a Thermite charge going off, which opens up the entirety of those walls. So Secret may be looking to play more of the frag-heavy matchup. They're not really focused on their strategies. And talking to Meepy there just in the interval, he has literally said 2% of the comms compared to the usual 90. But wow, Vexed, double from him. He just goes for the jump out, and even speed's fine. Maybe this came crashing down for Secret.
And he's still running around outside, and no surprise, you will get yourself scanned out, of course, after 2 seconds, and also find yourself being dropped down. But that's still a very successful run out, finding 2, and while Leon's looking completely the wrong way, Tyrant is going to find that kill. And immediately, WnR off to a much better start than they were on Oregon, already finding themselves in the 4 versus 1 in the first round.
Well, Vex just went for it, saying, you know what, if I die, I die. If I get a kill, it'll be good. If I get 2 kills, well, that'll be even better. And it paid off big time. That's the risk that they decided to take. But, again, big reward from it nonetheless. I just kind of killed Secret's momentum straight there. That was going to be a no-win round, really, from that stage on. And in general, I think this is just WnR getting off to that early start that we've talked about before. If you want to try and catch an opposition who is much stronger than you by surprise, you do things differently. And that's what they've done anyway.
They're going for that hole potentially as well. I imagine as soon as the side of Secret sees that Ella, they know exactly what's going on. They know they're going downstairs. We know we're going for that blue stairs hold. Curious if they wanted to try and change anything out here, because for the most part, this seems like a really solid lineup coming through for WnR. They've got the utility once again coming through from Valkyrie and Echo, new addition to the lineup this time round, and the Ella just being there to play on those stairs. I want to know again if it's going to boil down to stacking 2 or 3 members on those stairs, because a few times we've seen teams just throw literally everything at trying to take over those stairs, because assaulting in through the bottom of those stairs, getting into server room and going from there, that is the biggest priority you can go for. It's the easiest plan you can go for, but it does mean both teams stack up so many members trying to defend it.
There is one thing I kind of question with Team Secret is looking at those 5 operators for this particular bomb site. Nobody there is really going to give you an upper edge in terms of gunfights. That's why I would have loved to see Glaz being a pickup, because you have that immediate effect. It kind of puts the fear into a lot of the defenders. Another operator that I think is very strong on Bank is Montagna.
Very safe once you actually get the plant down, but I guess for the most part, when you're trying to plant inside CCTV itself, you've already got the cover once it's actually down. But actually getting the planted isn't the problem, because you'll still get smoke canistered out, you'll still get C4s thrown at you. So it's less so that you're not wanting to stand and necessarily protect it, because you can protect it from further back at the bottom of blue stairs anyway. So in this case, more opting away from it. But I think I'm with you. I'm not sold. The IQ I 100% get it here as well, especially when you're seeing both the Echo and the Valkyrie come through. But I'm thinking there were probably better things you can employ here to be able to assault downstairs.
I question Thatcher. There's no bandits really. Yeah. Bandit isn't a strong operator for this particular bomb site. Kaid is available, so I'm sure maybe you would expect to see Thatcher for the Kaid if this was being allowed free, because we know how pesky he can be with going for the Kaid trick. Or maybe it's because they know that this is something that we have seen Wind and Rain do in their playoffs against who knows. They played this exact same position.
The Thatcher now just makes perfect sense.
Yes,
they saw the Ela do exactly what they were going for. Now all the ADSs are gone. Everything has been removed, and now that leads Speeds entirely on his own base defending this point. I also like here his little variation on this, is that what he shows us to do is move and put the deployable shield in the doorway. That does mean it can get knocked down if they're not careful, but it's not actually back itself inside the stairway, which is where we normally see most teams play it.
There is a disadvantage, however, of going for that. Maverick could easily have come over and just literally hit it with one touch and it would have fell apart. You don't have to use any of that, the Ash charge that was used. And also for Secret, if you know that they're going to go for that strategy, why are you not bringing nades?
It's a weird one.
It would be logical to bring those frag grenades because it makes it so easy. We see, for example, inside of that last Bank game we had earlier on today, Doki threw a nade in, easy kill. That's what you do, bringing those frag grenades. Stiz with the first kill onto Speeds. He will take the opening death. That's the Ela gone. That's the shotgun eliminated. And we will see these two players of Secret trying to move in towards Server. Maybe great shot. Finds the head straight onto Vex. And look at this. They've actually opened up this wall for Secret. They've gave them a way in. I question this. If this was reinforced, they wouldn't have this issue. This could have been a lost round for Secret because we know they've already used the Maverick for the hatch.
They do have to deal with the Echo destruction potentially, though. He's not too far off dead, so I imagine Harris will be sat playing pretty safe for the most part. He gets the Echo drone going down as well, so Pepper will find that one for free. Would have been nice to get that into a spot, but now you're looking towards the Valkyrie. I don't believe has a C4 remaining. They're already finding themselves 2 more down. That's a beautiful smoke canister coming out as well from Blackout to bring down Meepy. That brings us into a 3 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 2, and Smoker's already gone down as well. It's all on Tyrant to hold Secret at bay here. Still got that Maverick and the Jackal looking to push in and make the magic happen. He's tucked away as far back as possibly can inside the vault itself. Knows it's going down, throws out the C4, but Leon is in the perfect spot, brings down Tyrant. The Secret were leaving things out at 1-on-1.
I just don't understand why they haven't reinforced both of those walls. This is a Bank which doesn't have any hard breach. This is completely different. You have to play this matchup entirely different than what you usually would. If you know for a fact Maverick can only open the hatch or open the wall, you also reinforce the walls because that means it's literally a 50-50. If they see that, oh, this is soft, we can just ash this or shotgun it open with Jackal. That's simple. We can just open up the hatch with a Maverick.
There's no choice to make there. It makes it easy for them.
So, I'm lost for words.
I wouldn't have reinforced both because, in fact, we saw this in the first series earlier on where in one of the rounds, I don't think M&M reinforced the wall that was actually against Service. So the main one where we see the plant going through was reinforced. They left the other one soft, so there wasn't an angle that they could find to try and shoot in unless they had that Maverick getting it open. But when you're opening up the hatch and you're going for that wall that's reinforced at the bottom of those stairs, you're running a little bit light on fuel by that point, and you've got to start prioritizing what it is that you're trying to open up.
Quite interesting 6th pick. We've just seen Ying being locked in, and it's quite peculiar because Team Secret, they have banned Ying, if I'm not mistaken, the most out of any team. They have banned Ying 4 times out of 6 maps, and they're going to be playing it.
On Pleb, nonetheless, as well.
Intriguing. But then again, this kind of fits back into Secret. We're kind of missing out that big impact operator, which changes the outcome of a round. Ying will do that. If you want to possibly open up the hatch with the Maverick, you then want to try and use those Ying Candelas to also cover the people who try to push in through that main door, and also you could just hot drop the hatch with the Candelas and try and get the frags.
Well, he's the support player, So very much so, like I said, going to be getting the rest of his team in with the utility being in place to at least give them some advantage on the push, and they're very spread out right now around multiple areas of the map. Map2 pushing in towards main stairs. More a case right now of trying to identify where these roamers are sat. Probably find that most of them are indeed downstairs. Isn't too much craziness coming out of WnR in this round, just keeping things pretty to the book as it stands. Exactly like you said in the last map, they're not doing anything new or different, just playing standard and winning the gunfights.
Maybe playing aggressive as that Ash. This is unusual territory for him, and speaking to him, he said, I'm loving this right now. You know, there's not every day the main support who tries to IGL everything gets to play that mindless Ash. He loves it. Good stuff.
Don't blame him, fair play.
Love to see it.
You love to see it.
I think you'd be like that, mindless Ash.
Mindless
but
Ash.
minus the gun skill, of course.
Just pretty mindless, yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
just
about right.
Dead weight.
Yeah, that's not a lie, mate. You're absolutely spot on. Saying that, we still need to play at some point.
Oh, okay.
We'll set up team play against Secret.
I'll get the scrim arranged.
Sure.
Right after this, possibly.
Yeah, why not?
We'll give them the warm-up scrim.
There's a stage right there.
For M&M, give them their quick beating. Oh, wait. Am I allowed to say that yet? I don't think so.
Not quite yet. There's the first Yin Candela being deployed. The one's in the hand as well, but almost landing one there, but not quite. Vex trading that one in, but Map2 is straight there with the trade, so at least that cost score isn't going down too much. Plebma, they've even managed to get themselves inside and found 2 more kills coming back across. Demo is doing his best example of being a conductor and an orchestra here, but still orchestrating this attack is Secret, slowing things down at least a little bit more now as well. After that initial craziness of everything going off, they have lost the Ying, but they still traded it out and found themselves now with a numbers advantage.
That's great from Secret. That's the impact they needed. We've seen that, to be fair, WnR played it quite well. They know that, yes, Maverick, you can only open one hatch. You don't have the same flexibility where you can open up this main hatch and also open up that server hatch. That means you can extend and play inside a server. That's whenever they use the Cadels, just to get them in, get things moving for themselves, and they will start to carry out the rest of their beachhead. Leon Gibbs will plant the diffuser and maybe the Lambs pick up a kill for themselves before Tyrant finds Stiz, and also it'll be a 1 versus 2. Actually, Stiz finished off a Lambs in that TK. Leon Gibbs barely gets away with his life and quite smartly knows to go for the rotate. From here, it should be simple enough for Leon just to hold the diffuser from what angles he has made. And well, for Tyrant, bit of a lost round for him. That was quite unfortunate. If we had seen the kill come in onto Leon, big potential, a 1v1. You would like to fancy the Valkyrie in that scenario, but too many angles being held. Map2 will finish off Tyrant, and well executed from Secret. That was a very strong round. The Ying did what it was supposed to do, and that is get them in and get things moving.
It got them stairs cleared out very, very quickly, and although, yes, it was a trade they could have done without losing, it would have been nice to keep the Ying for the second round of Assault. I don't think they equally expected to find 2 defenders playing inside server that deep, especially when quite commonly it's more to play inside Orange Corridor, get the wall open and just stick members around that area to hold it down and kind of more try and force out a stalemate rather than trying to play aggressive. But Team Secret pulled themselves in the lead 2-1 after that first round, going WnR's way in pretty decisive fashion. Looks like they're going to go for a very similar style setup and might even be trying to 6-pick here with a bit of a bait with the Ela because they aren't playing downstairs. They're instead going back upstairs, and quite rightly so, switching over to the Valkyrie. Castle's on side. I'm pretty sure Secret have a read on this, though.
I would have liked to have seen the Castle 6-pick because automatically Secret know, oh, there's the Castle. Castle's not going to be used for downstairs. That's going to be their upstairs because they've already showed us that hand before. Just a little minor thing, but hey, it could have possibly baited Secret into a different operator, but they've seemed to stuck quite well. They have substituted that Thatcher, however, for that Sophia, and that's simply because more soft destruction takes away those castle barricades. Again, you don't really need the Thatcher grenade. Sure, there may be a bandit in the wall, but either way, you only have Maverick. He's not opening the walls like we've discussed. I'm quite curious to see how WnR will actually play this round. Sure, they won the last time, but Vex can no longer go for that same strategy of jumping out the window because Secret will be ready. We hope so.
You'd hope so. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, or something like that. Other way around.
I don't know what your old man sayings are about, but sure.
Very old. Basically saying the first time that you fool someone, then okay, you know, fair play. Shame on you for fooling me.
Yeah.
Second time, shame on me for believing you a second time, essentially. So if they get them caught out here, then it's entirely Secret's fault. It's not even like it's WnR being proactive. It's genuinely Secret just not paying attention.
Fun facts for Des.
It's quite a common saying, mate. You're probably just too young to have heard it.
You do know I do know it. It's just a very old saying, and you're old, so.
Just haven't learnt enough, mate.
Unfortunate
enough
for,
of the world
yourself. Yeah. Unfortunate. I've seen Manchester. That's good.
Manchester's not a bad one, mate. It's been good for us so far. Secret let's see how they can make this work. More window play coming through, but already Leon being picked out by Vex in the opening 35 seconds of the round is not doing too many favors. Drone's going to come in, but quite rightly so. Vex is looking the wrong way. It was all a bait, they say, as Meepy brings him down from far away. This is why you have the castle on those walls, but of course an Ash can get those open. And those angles, well, they're a long one, but it's more than enough to get the headshot and bring him down.
And that's Ash without the ACOG.
I know, right?
It's holographic. That's quite, I think, a very excellent shot from Meepy, but this is the man who plays T-Hon 24/7. He has that aim, we know that. And well, whenever you really look at it, Meepy on Ash makes a lot of sense. Sure, we know he has that same capability of, you know, that massive brain of his where he can see things before anyone else does. But also, him and an Ash, he has great aim, and he can also try and play as a lone fragger. And he has the game sense, he has the game knowledge to know what's a good routing for him, what's a good pathing, where can he see weaknesses that he can maybe uproot. I have to give credit to Meepy. I'm really liking him on the Ash, and hey, secret little nudge towards Pro League, perhaps.
Well, that's what you'd be hoping for, although in that case, everything gets shut down completely, and Harris rolls through with the double, bringing down the man you were just speaking about in Meepy alongside Stizza. So everything now looks to be going their way. There's one man left alive. As LM's on the window, just get one down, so at least it's a small token consolation prize. But you still got to find yourself 3 more, my friend, if you want to keep the streak going and bring this round over. Otherwise, we're finding ourselves going to 2-2. Now waiting and lurking. One wrong move there, one wrong angle peaked, so you might find yourself in a bit of hot bother. Straight on the point itself, you can see that the bomb down there does have someone lurking nearby. In case of how sneaky he can be, no doubt going to be hurt as well. Finds himself another one. That makes 2 for LMs now, so suddenly in a much better spot. That bulletproof camera removed. Intel at least a little bit thinner on the ground. Finds one more to the left as well, but now knows into a gunfight. Can't quite find that one. Speed's picking it up. And WnR will even things out at 2-2, so we still have a map on our hands, Demo. It's not a case of, like the last one, it going suddenly towards secret side, towards the air. We might find ourselves going into the half 3-3.
Quite curious to see that we actually have 2 wins on lockers, which I wasn't really expecting that. It should be a very easy lockout round for the defense, like we've said it with the obvious, you can only open up 1 hatch or a wall. And then you also look at the CEO. It's been defended twice. That would be, I think, probably the best chance that a lot of attackers, whenever there is no hard breacher, has. You know, you have a lot of windows you can play around. You can try and go below and buck, which we haven't really seen being utilized. That's another option which I also do really like to see. It eliminates the fact of any roamers. And the fact that we're seeing WnR also, you know, bring Valkyrie, bring Pulse. I would like to see some more aggressive C4s if you're going to try and play that top floor. However, for the first time, we're going to be seeing a Tellers on the board. Now this one's going to be a little bit interesting because you don't necessarily need a hard breacher really for this bomb site. Sure, it's handy to have. You can open up the double wall on A, you can open up triple on B, but the difference is you have so much self-destructibility, which is really puts this Tellers in a kind of league of its own in terms of this bomb site on the map. It's the only bomb site we have which has a significant amount of hard breach. Top floor really doesn't unless you want to try and go below. Sure, open area has some, but because there is that main corridor that has, you know, a lot of concrete that you cannot get through, and also the kitchen isn't buckable, it does lack itself in that. But for this bomb site, for attackers, it's take control of upstairs, start working on the flooring, and you just kill everybody in the bomb site. If they want to try and rotate, that's where your flank protector come in. That's where Plebma excels. And also the fact, sure, you may see not a sledge, or you may not see a buck. Jackal can do that with his sidearm shotgun, and he also brings that utility. I'm liking this.
You mentioned the whole upstairs point. It's where I expect Secret to try and make their point of ingress, is to get upstairs, get themselves control of that, clear out any roamers. Anything else might be up there. That's exactly what Stizz's plan is right now. Take that over, and you do have that option of getting a lot of visibility downstairs onto the site itself and trying to flush out those defenders while they're sat on point, just to try and give yourself, hopefully try and force them away towards more of your roamers. But it's a case of actually finding them in the first place. They do have that Jackal on side, and indeed you can hear that tag going away every few seconds, making sure at least one location is revealed. But Harris is still going to find Stiz, so that's the Thatcher gone and down. You did say earlier on, it is one of those points where the hard breach isn't absolutely essential. Although, of course, if you can still have the Thatcher on side, then you definitely welcome it.
LMZ will find Harris, and that is going to be with his pistol. Could have been catching out a Pulse by surprise using that IQ scanner that did not know the IQ scanner can see the electronic gadget. Leon barely missing the shots onto the smoke. That would have been a very big kill, because that's the only real denial that WnR have, unless you want to also include Tyrant with his C4, but more than likely I could see that C4 being used in more of an aggressive fashion upstairs, trying to C4 someone who's trying to use that destructibility to their best of their advantages. And also breaching charge is being brought as well by LM, so that also gives them something else to try and work with. Leon aggressive, has that Jackal ping. That's the utility that you have, only gets the down, and Vex is there for the retrade.
Oh.
However, we have Meatbee there, and he will manage to pick up, actually I believe it's Plebma. Yeah, Plebma found one, and then Meatbee got Vex, and Plebma finds another one.
Nice round for Plebma as well, finding himself 3 kills. We speak about him being the support player, and he said himself that he was worried. Not so much worried, but at least aware that he was going to have to step up to this level to deliver. Instead, potentially it was the highest level of competition he'd play at. Well, with a performance like that, definitely not going to be doing yourself any bad favours, my friend.
He needs to, you know, have a little bit of confidence in himself.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
I didn't really like that comment saying this is probably the biggest you'll ever be at. That's not true.
Strive higher, my friend.
The way Rainbow Six is going, there's going to be way more opportunities for younger players.
Absolutely.
For WnR, though, this might be the end of their opportunity in the Premiership if they can't keep this one back on side. 3-2 currently the score to Secret. I'm sure they would love to go into the defensive half 4-2. It'd be a great advantage to go into. Of course, Bank being one of those larger maps does tend to play into a very roam-heavy style. WnR haven't really utilised that too well. A number of rounds now, we've seen them actually sticking 4 or 5 men all around the point and not really looking to move away.
Well, there was that round that just was past where we did see a little bit of contention, but I think that Secret, their room player, has always been very solid. Leon and LMs are really that main driving force. Maybe now being added in as that brainless Ash main, as we like to refer to him inside of this series. I think it's just Secret playing very well on this particular bomb site. Hey, maybe they've done a little bit of research, and well, it has been actually quite a lot of stuff in WnR. They're the team that has played the most maps inside of Premiership because they did play inside of the playoffs. So there's a lot of things to go off. Maybe there's been coaching, and well, the coach up for Team Secret is actually Leon's dad. That's an interesting fact. Helby has now been benched. Unfortunate for the Canadian.
Just bring in Leon's dad. That's all you need.
Mr. Giddens.
He is here on site, because of course, like you say, Helby is away in Canada, a good 5,000 kilometers away. Not really able to join us today.
Interesting fact. Every single LAN that Secret have won, Helby has not been there. Helby the issue? Who knows?
It's not the first time I've heard of coaches that don't seem to coach teams, or coach teams remotely from afar and then have the teams go out and do excellent things. Today's to do an excellent thing and potentially get the double win in Prem. Of course, M&M await them potentially in the final, but we need to, of course, see if Secret are going to be the team advancing away from this game. Going to be a standard setup here as well for WnR, so again, nothing too expansive going on. I do like that earlier on they didn't use this. They actually now have the Pulse playing inside the vaults themselves, looking towards when this plan's coming down, so they know what's going on, they know what Secret are up to. That's something that we see M&M use an awful lot, but until this round, haven't seen WnR employ.
So Secret have also decided to not bring back that Ying that we seen was actually quite potent in terms of clearing out those roamers who were lurking inside the server. But WnR have kind of retracted a lot more. They're playing speeds now inside a gold vault. This is one of the strongest positions you can have as a Pulse player, because you can see right in towards that server. You can know if anybody's going to go for the plant. And of course it takes, what, 2 seconds to rotate out of there for a C4 and get a kill onto the planter, and you go straight back doing your job. I love the Pulse in this scenario.
I think it's great, just a case of making sure that when you do come to use that C4, using it right. And surely that intel being fed through, they know what's going on. Vex playing off on a bit of a longer angle here as well. So in fact, looking off towards more, watching towards Staircase and the garage itself, rather than actually towards security. And this is what bit M&M a little bit earlier on, was when they didn't stack enough members in towards defending that room, and quite rightly so. Now he knows exactly where they are. He can confirm that he is indeed holding the right place.
Also Vex, the Nitro Cell for him, that means that Speeds can also provide intel for then the C4 being established by Vex. There's 3 C4s on the side of WnR. That's quite a lot in terms of the barbed wire and different utility you could have had. So they are really going to try and play for stopping the defuse. If you get 3 kills with a C4, that should really be the round over with. I don't think that Secret are going to let that happen in this scenario. They've played it enough times. And look at just intel. Look at this. 3 people on the heartbeat scanner.
It's the intel that there's 3. He hasn't used any of his shockwires here either. That's interesting. Nitro Cell, they've still got 3. They've still got 2 smoke canisters remaining, and we're down to 30 seconds. WnR have got a lot to play with here. The Secret are going to have to pull something out of the bag and maybe go for a more aggressive play, hoping that it runs straight headfirst into a C4 to make this one work.
Smoke canisters will come in, and that does give Secret the availability to go for their beachhead. Maybe will successfully plant the diffuser, and well, Stiz says hello to Harris with a stab. Speeds fine Map2, but the diffuser has been planted. Tyrant with a kill, so it has went in favor of WnR, but Leon gets and Plebma will still keep it level before Tyrant finds Leon a 1 versus 2. It's down to LMs. Diffuser has been planted. He's went for the correct play. He's rooted up, but I believe Tyrant will be ready for it. Tyrant versus LMs. Who will win? LMs gets it. 1 versus 1. This should be an easy clutch out for LMs against Vex. The two German operators will battle it out. Vex is going to hop on up. That's going to be diffused sound. And well, just a quick bait for LMs. Not enough time to go for the kill. He has to stick to defuse. And LMs, you should be seeing the body. I hope so. Yes, you will. Wow. Well, LMs, don't do that. Not good.
Those goddamn Wind Bastion skins, Demo. I can't believe it's that good at camo that he's genuinely invisible to 11.
On a grey wall.
Right?
The pizza camo has...
Well, not even playing something like Fortress, there's no excuse. But hey, you got it in the end, double-checked it over. Maybe he was just baiting us. God
Fortress
knows.
ESL map? Question mark?
Big question mark. Hopefully not.
Pengu's just having a fit outside right now in the venue. He said no, 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 no.
Please no, don't send us there. But it's all good. So after the half, 4-2. Good performance out of Secret, not as worrying as it was back on Oregon when it was WnR bringing it up to 3-3, so at least they're giving themselves at least a small bit of buffer to be able to play with going into their defensive rounds.
This is a good start. This is a 4-2 lead. WnR, looking at what they performed on Oregon, I think that their attacks were strong in some cases. They came out of that Oregon split 3 rounds apiece. So yes, they do have that core mechanics. But I kind of worry, because WnR can no longer play that very safe, just Thermite, take those hard breach, you open up the wall. This has really put them out of their comfort zone. Secret, I think, have done well with the bans, going for that Thermite ban in return of WnR. I'm liking the fact that we're seeing Team Secret really start to target specific players. I think that maybe the Maestro pick has also did well. I thought Speech was fragging out very well in that Oregon matchup with that LMG. This done well for Secret. Overall for WnR, they really need to get their roam presence. We've talked about this from Leon Gids. He is deadly on this map. There's 3 sets of staircases. He can go wild. He can go rampant. There's no Nomad, so that's another operator that Leon doesn't have to worry around. And, well, quite interesting. He's playing Echo, though.
I can recall a few times that we've seen roaming Legion players as well be fantastic at rotating across the map. Turtle, a player that those who've been around Prem for a while will probably remember, putting one hell of a performance on this map, making full use of those staircases, like you say.
R.I.P. Turtle.
R.I.P. Turtle.
Died so young.
Got back to the sea. Join his brethren. But already Leon's down to about 15 odd HP here as well. Finds himself bang straight through that desk. And Vex is going to find him out as well. So that's one going down already. So a bit of a good start for WnR. But now it's a case of how they can translate this advantage, this 5 versus 4, into something else. The answer is no, they can't, because Map2 is going to trade off against Tyrant as well. And already trades back and forth. So, okay, both sides now really going at it against one another. Speed's got to be wary as well. Finds himself against his back wall with a mine. Well, not really a mine, it's a goo mine. I guess it is a mine. More of a needle stuck in his foot, full of poison. But taking it slowly, he's playing around this Scarlet Staircase as well. They know what they've got to try and do. They can get through this wall because they've still got hold of the Maverick as well. It's just trying to make sure there's no threat of a run out coming through from Secret, which is a very real possibility given there's 1 or 2 lurking in the next couple of rooms.
Another thing for Secret, they're not bringing the Jaeger. That's quite a little bit scary for me. Whenever there is an operator like Ying and Glaz available, why would you not bring the Jaeger? There's a lot of smoke hazards that can be established. There's also Dokkaebi and Jackal who provide that. There's still Bucket Sledge and maybe Finky if you want to try and go for a 6-nade setup, which is very rare these days. So certainly I think Jaeger would have been great here. So I do kind of question their playstyle and who they're bringing. I think playing Echo aggressively doesn't really work. I wouldn't even bring the Echo whenever you know IQ is always going to be picked by WnR. You should have learned that from the last time.
WnR being held quite a bit here by Stiz as well. Being a bit of a thorn in their side, both metaphorically and literally in some cases, on that Legion. They've got to clear him up before they can start looking for a push through that CEO wall, or else they'll just be waiting there with those holes in the walls ready to gun them down as soon as they go for it. Plebma taking himself a bit of fire. Not going down, but unfortunately LMs goes through a little bit too late, and Vex will find another one onto Plebma as well. Down to a 4 versus 1, and suddenly their troublesome member who's hovering off to the side will not be enough trouble anymore. Vex brings him down as well, and WnR will win their first attacking round.
It's quite peculiar. We've seen that CEO was a real staple for the players of WnR. They had won both of those bomb sites, and well, then you look at Secret. They've just also played that same bomb site. Hasn't worked out too well. Is it either just Secret cannot attack or defend it, or is that just WnR being excellent at both attack and defense in that bomb site?
It's funny because we said this back in the first map, was that it didn't come down to strats or particular team proficiency. It's just down to who's getting the kills. And on that, we saw how quickly it unrolled there, all of a sudden for WnR, finding themselves the opening kill, trading back 1 or 2, but then the next 2 or 3 came through pretty much back to back, side to side, found themselves in a 4 versus 1, and that was all there was to it. Downstairs once again.
So this will be the first downstairs for Team Secret. Looking at their setup, they are heavily investing in terms of intel. There's 3 intel options. You know, they have the Pulse, they have the Echo, and they have the Valkyrie. This is where Blackout can really have a big field day. I would have liked to seen more aggression. I would have liked to see the Vigil. That's another operator which I think really Secret are sleeping on. I would have liked to see Leon just go wild. You know, if he wants to play that aggressive playstyle that we know that's what Leon is and embodies, just stick him on Vigil, let him go for it. And WnR, sure, they're bringing the Jackal, but overall, they're still going to be threatened attacking a Vigil, which is, as we know, is going to be Leon Gids in that scenario.
I do like how the intel at least gives them the best position to be in, where you can know where they're coming from, when they're coming from there as well. If you lose one member, it's not going to break apart the whole team setup. It's there. It is very defensive, like you say. The Vigil, even if it wasn't the Vigil, even something like a Legion, just send him off to go and do his job around the map would have been interesting to see. But I think for Secret, when they've just given away a round to WnR, they're thinking, right, let's make sure first we can establish a solid defense, then we can start changing things out, experimenting and trying to catch WnR off guard. As it stands right now, it's a good solid setup. WnR, how they choose to attack this point will be very telling, I think. Whether or not they choose to go straight down those blue stairs like we've seen a lot of teams do, or if they try and play via the hatch, or try and play via the main stairs off towards the south side of the map, it's going to show that flexibility in their side as well when it comes to trying to push in towards Secret.
I still would like to see some form of heavy operator that really just does the business. Montagne, Blitz, Ying, Glaz, Dokkaebi, anything that will help you win an engagement. That's what I'd love to see. You could easily ascend Montagne straight through server. That clears out anybody who wants to try and play inside of that position. It also allows you to have that free flexibility of the rotations in towards blue stairs. Vex, we're going to see him start to open up, and this is a similar thing that what we see from the playoffs, trying to make these crazy Picasso art styles.
The man's an artist at heart, what can I say?
Making the triangles.
Absolutely. Loading mag. Bit of a basic trigonometry to get those hatches open seems to be the name of the game.
A young Da Vinci at work.
Absolutely.
We'll have to leave him be. You know, he needs his quiet time. So basically, because he has done it that way, which is very not fuel efficient at all, they're literally stuck to just for the hatch. They can no longer open up in towards server, and there's still 2 people inside the server, and there's a minute 20 to go. When did this happen? I'm pretty sure I saw Meekby run out of server in towards that A bomb site because he'd been pinged. Nobody pushed, and he's run right back in. Why?
They seem really scattered, but Leon's going to say, well, scattered as you may be, well, dead you also will be, and brings down Harris. Now pushing around to the side here. They don't even know they're pushing up this by the looks of it as well. Might find themselves getting punished from the backside if they're not careful. But Vex finds 2. Suddenly, Meepy and Leon are both gone, and the attack is back on. Now they can start trying to go for this push we've seen a few times. This is a very interesting... All right, smiley face, beautiful. Let's get inside, though, and get the bomb down. That's the key thing to look towards now. Interesting hole not going to try and burn at the bottom corner. Might watch this spot back afterwards, mate, and see the more efficient way of getting that open, using less fuel. Like you say, not really the most optimum fuel used so far in this round.
He's actually got it perfect. That is like the perfect size that you can actually get a Maverick hole. So he clearly has practiced this. It's not an easy feat to do. For example, you look at the way the M&M and Vex game went out. The Mavericks, it was a much bigger hole because they didn't know how to do it correctly, but Vex a good skill to use nonetheless. Blackout pushes in, goes from the defuse. As we know, the hatch is going to give that cover, but Blackout gets sent flying high. Speeds also drops in. Vex takes a toxic fumes as Stiz picks up a double with a shotgun. Down the Tyrant, gets a pistol kill for his troubles, but not enough time, not enough health. LLM's on the belt, we'll make quick work of that. And well, Lockers once again proved to be too tough of a bomb site for many of the attacks.
That was going so well for WnR, and then it's not so much panic because they didn't have much time left and they had to act. But they realized they just couldn't keep on trying to play around that small hole he cut out in the wall and chose to go for a push forward from there. Chose to instead smoke it out, sprint for the back corner and try and get the diffuser down. But sadly, well, Secret had other ideas. Enough members left alive, enough C4s, enough smoke canisters to be able to shut that attack down. Team Secret now at 5-3 as well. 2 rounds stands between them and a grand final showdown with M&M. That's the fixture that a lot of people have been speaking about and expecting. And you can tell based on how teams have been playing so far today, WnR exposing some weaknesses potentially with Team Secret, that M&M may be in a position to be able to make it happen.
So moving into our next bomb site, we will take a trip back to Tellers, and this is going to be Secret's first try at having a go at this bomb site. Like we said earlier, upstairs control is everything for WnR. They want to try and get speeds in with that sledge, and they have changed up their lineup quite a bit. We finally see a Glaz making his first appearance. Glaz is an operator that we haven't really seen too often. Glaz has kind of fallen out of the meta. I think that a lot of teams have kind of adapted and know as soon as you hear a smoke canister, whenever you know there's going to be a Glaz, just don't pick it, just wait until it happens. There's plenty of gadgets that the defense have. You have Echo Drones that get intel, Valkyrie cameras, you have Goo Mines and Legion, which is probably the most pesky thing for a lot of Glaz players. Maestro, bulletproof cams, so much stuff that counters Glaz at the moment has really fell out of the meta, but there are still certain teams that kind of fear him. Like, for example, Glaz has been a very big ban for Team Secret over the course of their Premiership season. Even WnR, they haven't really liked to play against the Glaz. So there is options there that having an operator that isn't really known to both teams because they never really play with or against them, there is advantages to that.
It's a case of WnR trying to turn it into a round win. Saw there they haven't used Maverick throughout any of the regular season. Glaz has seen 22% pick, give or take. Maybe not so much by WnR themselves. Plebma's going to find Tyrant already. And it's about keeping these key components in place, I think. When you've had both of the hard breaches banned away, you need to keep that Maverick on side. Those hatches are so crucial when it comes to trying to assault onto the downstairs. Less so when you're looking towards Tellers, of course, because there's a lot of soft breach there. And you're looking for the angles for the Glaz, if nothing else.
Yeah, you're just looking for potentially playing Maverick, and I think whenever it's more of a, not an unusual map where we're seeing double hard breach, Maverick is kind of played as a lone fragger. He kind of goes off in his own. The team lets him do what he wants. He would go over, and then this team could be pushing B-bomb site. He could go over towards the egg wall, open up a little hole. That's a free kill. Stuff like that. That's why I think Maverick has a great place in the meta at the moment, but of course they cannot utilize him in that scenario because you need him to open up these majority of the hatches or these hard walls if you go for it.
Down 3 now, WnR already in a bit of a precarious position for this round. Secret's done a good job to hold them at bay and kind of stem the aggression. Once again, really likes his triangles on these points. What can I say? Does likes to keep at least part of it going still. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Won't lie.
Interesting.
I'd like to ask him why he does this, actually. I'll find out afterwards. Going for the spread on there, finds his feet a couple of times. A little happy feet trying to get him down, but no, Stiz lies down, shoots straight back up. Now into a 2 versus 5. This could potentially be the opportunity for Secret to put themselves at series point to go into that final. There is one man remaining. His name is Harris, and he's got it all to do here on the glass. Beautiful shot, though. Will bring down Plebma. What else can he find, though? Is on the point itself. Diffuser is not, sorry, is in hand, but now it's a case of making it work, and Meatbeat's going to find Lem's not the best. Suddenly finds it down to 2 remaining, but no! Leon is there with a shotgun. Harris goes down, and we are now into series point, ladies and gentlemen. Secret versus M&M is 1 round away. Possibly.
So we head into our possible final round of this series, and well, WnR, most of their attacks have kind of been a little bit lackluster. I think they've got separated quite hard. They really need to stick with that whole refrag and that team chemistry that we talk about. We know that WnR have those skills. Tyrant hasn't really shown up for WnR this time around. I thought Tyrant during the regular season was a massive player for them. It really revitalized the squad. He just hasn't really found his way into this matchup. May it be first land jitters? Who knows? But if maybe if Tyrant was really getting in there, if we seen him standing off, if we seen him popping about, 6 and 8 for your main fragger who we know possesses so much raw skill. Yeah, I would like to see him possibly try and get up there. Also, Blackout with 1 kill, missing the Thermite, missing the 5.56.
This point demo, we never see it taken on back.
Well, you say this. There's one operator that has kind of made this bomb site viable, and that's going to be the Clash.
Did mention it earlier on.
Yeah, because it is a viable thing. That Clash gives you that intel that you would not really have. For example, if you want to try and hold A-bomb, it's a very difficult position, because if they take control of that hatch upstairs, that's it. You cannot really sit in A anymore. Clash can't. She can sit in the corner. She can see the heads of the players peeking in towards the hatch. It means that they cannot just freely drop and go for it. Another interesting position I like seeing Clash is right beside the bleepers, right outside that double door of the A bomb site. You can see if anybody drops the corner hatch. You can see if anybody comes down main stairs. And maybe if you want to try and extend in towards tellers, then you have some more kill potential. There's a lot of great things. The fact that you can have extensions in towards tellers is a great adaptability factor for you as a defender.
I dare you to come closer. I dare you.
Dares him. Who wants to get any too close, though? It's more about the intel, like you say. There's more being a standing camera, essentially.
Yeah, you are a Montagna.
You can be threatened, but that's where the team play element of this comes into it as well. Is that with that intel, your team should be responding and going in for those frags pretty quick, more than anything else. But right now, it might be a case of trying to play a bit more aggressively rather than playing inside of A itself. Just checking stairs, checking doorways, making sure there isn't any funny business coming on. And just like this, you can stand there and watch. If you feel threatened, you can step away.
Yeah, great position. You have so much visibility. They've also opened up the majority of that wall right beside that main stairs. If anybody wants to try and enter through tellers, guess what? Clash sees you as well. It relays the information to anybody playing inside of the archives, which in this case is going to be Leon and is going to be Stiz. Leon, hello from above, says Speeds, and that's going to be him falling. And this is where Speeds is actually going to use that sledgehammer to great use. He's entered upstairs. Good analysis from him being able to see, hold on a minute, we've got some pesky roamers instead of archives. Let me attack this as if it is going to be an archives defense, and now he can rotate around, can possibly try and go in and get some hard destruction done over towards A. There's options here for him. He can maybe try and open up above the Clash. It's a very hard angle to find, but if he manages to get it, that'll be a great addition to this final beachhead. And Tyrant, well, the man I was talking about, I wasn't really impressed with him so far. I was expecting a lot more. Well, he starts to get himself a couple of kills.
Looking better as well, finding themselves the third of the round into a 4 versus 2. So actually the glass being used as you might expect this time round 2. Sort of to threaten, constantly be aware of where that potential one shot can always come from if you're not watching out for it. This will pick up Speeds back on the return, mind you. And some more goo mines to be thrown downstairs from up yonder. And exactly like you say, Clash playing inside of A here as well, watching towards those main doors. And as soon as anyone steps in, you know exactly what the call is going to be. Instead, even trying to go for a bit of a flank behind them here as they do try and press in towards A. WnR had full control of main lobby to begin with, and now potentially risk finding themselves being backed up onto it if they're not careful. There you go. That's exactly the kind of play we were looking for as well. The intel's there, the root is there, can't go very far. This is more than happy to oblige and say, we got this one, boss.
This is where you see Clash excel. She is just annoying. You can't do much against her. You try and push her, she's going to stun you away. She keeps backing up. You also put yourself at a risk of getting killed by the other defender. And Stiz will be inside of Archives, goes for his rotate. He's right beside both of the attackers. This could be it. Stiz!
Beautiful!
Stiz toying with the players of WnR. And well, we will have Team Secret versus M&M. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought? Pretty much the expected fixture we want and the expected scoreline of the 2-0. But again, we have to give some recognition to WnR here for a fantastic series. I think many would have come into this one saying, well, Pro League team versus a team that scraped their way into the top 4 here. It's going to be 2 7-0s. But fair play to them, really putting on a good show. But ultimately, Secret reminding us why they are last season's champions. The smiles on the faces of all the players as well, so fair play. Now it's a case of seeing how that final fixture goes down.
You have to give credit to WnR. I think they went into this matchup with a very unique style that I'm not accustomed to. They do things a lot differently compared to the general gist. It is a great addition to have, but there is still some moments where I think if they'd done something more standard, it would have paid out for them. But hey, Team Secret, they get to the final, and M&M versus Secret, well, that's what awaits us.
Absolutely, Oregon was their kind of standard go-to. This map a little bit differently, but some people will tell you a bit more about how different that was. We're going over to the analyst desk to break down that series.
Thank you very much, guys. And that was a very close series, but in that second map, I just felt like WnR didn't really have many answers on that attacking half.
Look, honestly, the 2-0 scoreline that we had in the end, obviously with the 2 maps being taken by Secret, it doesn't give justice to how much of a fight that we saw come out from WnR. So I think it, I guess, shrouds how much effort they actually put in there, because it was a really, really solid effort both maps.
Yeah, the scoreline, like you say, it doesn't tell the full story. Oregon being very, very close indeed. Certainly could have gone to the side of Wind and Rain. On Bank, yes, I think they did struggle a little bit. We saw again double hard breacher ban for the second time today. I know that's something you were losing your mind over.
I really was.
You were really having a bit of a problem with that, and rightly so, because it does make attacking very, very difficult. And I think that we saw that in Wind and Rain's attacks. They just didn't have all too many answers. And again, Secret ramping through the gears in those final couple of rounds brought it home.
Yeah, you do see those elements of inconsistencies there with Wind and Rain. We saw it in the playoffs leading up to this final as well. It was not really too much of a surprise there. You could see there was some, I'd say they've improved a little bit in comparison to where they come from the Prem Plus by a huge margin, but there's still some little things here